we're going to come on here, but we are going to rock with what we have. Um, I hope that you guys have had a great week. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Aaron Simpson, and I really, really have a passion for helping people get realigned in their vision and what they believe God has called them to do, or maybe you're uncertain in what you feel called to do. Help you get unstuck because I've been there. I've been all over the place and been derailed and had so many times in my life where I felt like I was supposed to do this thing and then I ended up doing this thing, or this thing didn't work out how I thought it should. So I change and course correct, and I start putting myself in situations where I didn't need to be put in. So I know what it's like to feel lost and feel aimless and feel purposeless, if I'm being honest. Like sometimes we could feel purposeless and sometimes we could feel like what we're doing doesn't matter. And I want to help as many people as I can break free from, that feeling of being unstuck through content, through live, through, my voice, through my words. I want to help as many people as I can and those that are looking for what I can provide. Um, I coach people, I consult people. But if I'm being honest, recently I made a decision to kind of live more and not really look at one thing in particular that I do. I think when you're in the coach and the consultant space, you can kind of buy the hype that you got to be this one thing. And although I think it's important to have a target, I think it's important to have an ideal client or avatar, but everyone is different. And what works for one person may not work for all. I think there are certain strategies and techniques that do work for sure. Um, but I felt like for me, I wasn't being truly authentic to myself and my story and my gifting and my skill set and what I do well. And I want to be able to be a voice of change when it comes to, you know, feeling like you have to be in a box, feeling like you have to be like everyone else, or you have to do things like everyone else. I do think it's important to learn. I do think it is important to pay attention and to, you know, see what's working for other people's and people and apply it to see if it may work for you. But you know, God has wired all of us um, a different way. Hi, Tiffany. How you doing? What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome. You're the first person here. Oh, wow. We got more people that popped in here. What's up, guys? Comment in the chat how you doing, where you're at. And I would love to know where you guys are from. This is my first ever YouTube live. I don't know if I'm doing it right, but I hope that you guys get something from this. And I'm just talking about that God won't let you fail, and the perspective that I'm bringing is, for me, I pivoted so many times in my life, in my career, and one of the things that I'm very interested in and I have a passion for is to help people get unstuck. For those of you that kind of feel like you're kind of like existing, but you're not really thriving. Does that make sense? Let me know in the chat if that makes sense. Like you don't feel like your days are really adding up to significance, or you could be somebody where you've lost your vision and you're not really sure what you're supposed to be doing, and what you feel led and called to do. And I am a big believer that God doesn't waste time and He doesn't waste space, right? So if you are alive in this time, there's something for you to do. You have an assignment. There's something for you to do. You are important, you are valuable, and you are a big piece to this large puzzle of what we call life and humanity. And I think a part of our assignment is the pre assignment, which is to get ready for the assignment. And, um, there's a lot of rhetoric on social media that, you got to do this and you got to do that, and you got to wake up at this time and you got to do it this way. And it's like, I'm at a point in my life right now that I just don't believe God put me in a box. I don't think He put me. Let me remove this because this is like the lighting part. There we go. That's better. I don't think God put me in a box. I don't think He, um, you know, wired me to be this particular way and this particular way only. I think uh, I just got a baby brother. Congratulations! Congratulations on having a baby brother. That's amazing. That's amazing. God bless you and your nephew. Um, and and I think that God has wired us differently, and I think it's important for us to express ourselves differently. We all have a unique footprint in this world, and everybody that's in this chat right now has different assignments. And I want to help as many people get realigned. I know what it's like to feel lost. I know what it's like to feel like your days, in what you do, it doesn't feel like it matters. It doesn't feel like it's significant, and you feel purposeless. And I call it being stuck. Like I want to help people um, get unstuck. Those that feel like their vision isn't clear, those that feel like they've lost their vision, or they're kind of walking aimlessly through life. And I will say this, that y- you know I believe that God has really placed on my heart of service and to help the people that I'm called to lead. But for those of you that do not know, you wouldn't know unless you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, because this is my first Instagram or YouTube live. But this time last year, I was in my absolute worst shape from a mental, emotional, physical standpoint. I was 270 pounds this time last year, and just not in a good place. And my habits and my lifestyle was trash. I was eating whatever I wanted. I wasn't as active as I wanted to be. Um, and I just wasn't in a good place. And I made some changes and made some commitments, and now I'm 198 pounds, and I'm probably in the best shape of my life at 37 years old. 37. Um, I'm going to Landor on a date tomorrow with the goth girl. Awesome. Good luck with that. Congrats. All right. And I just believe that, like, in order for me to help more people, I had to be a testimony for myself first. I had to help myself. And one of the things that I've learned, and is it's very important and imperative for you to take care of yourself and to prioritize what you need. Because a lot of us, what we don't realize is that we're giving from a place of overflow. Um, or we think we're giving from a place of overflow, but we're really giving from a place of depletion. And you're trying to do things and you're wanting things to work out, but you don't have the energy, the drive, and the focus to do so because you're so depleted. I'm 62-year-old grandmother. Awesome. I've always felt I've had no vision. I wish I had. I will say this: everyone has an assignment. Everyone has things they're called to do. My advice for you, Kay, would be to, it's like, I have iPhones, I have MacBooks, I have a lot of Apple products, right? If I want something externally fixed, I could take it to T-Mobile, I could take it to Sprint or, Verizon, AT&T to fix the outer part of the phone. But anything that is internal, it has to go to Apple. It has to go to the creator of the product. It has to go to the maker. So if you feel like you don't know what your vision is, and you need clarity on that, you got to incorporate the person that's made you in this process. And I put a video out on my Instagram today that sometimes I believe that we can force things too much because we want things to work out so badly that we're forcing the issue and we're trying to make things happen instead of just being the person and building the character and building the skills needed for that thing that we want to happen to want to be with us. What do I mean? The more that you become the person, the more that what you want will want to be with you. And what I have experienced in my life, when I stopped focusing on the outcome that I wanted and holding on to the outcome that I desired, and put my attention in controlling what I could and being the best version of myself in the season of my life, and asking myself, in this particular season of my life, what do I feel led and called to do in this season? And once I did that, it made things a lot easier to deal with because I took away the overwhelm, I took away the stress and the pressure of having to figure it out. And I just put all of my attention in what was in front of me. And I focused on what was in front of me, and God was focusing on what was in front of that. Does that make sense? And what we like to do, we want to know what's in front of us and behind the thing that's in front of us. When we just have the energy and the ability to focus on what's in front of us and let God worry about what's in front of that or what's behind that. Um, so God is not going to let you fail as long as you get in agreement that you're not going to fail either. So if you fail or if you don't get what you feel you deserve or if you don't follow through or become the person that you believe you're called to be, it's no one's fault but ours, right? So I have no one to blame but me. So, um, but yeah, like this is my first live on YouTube. I don't know how many people have popped in and out, but I'm grateful for each and every one of you. I'm grateful for all of you that have subscribed. And if you're on this live right now and you don't subscribe, please subscribe because one of my um, tasks that I want to start doing more is putting more content on YouTube because I'm making a shift kind of in what I do, and I'm going through changes, with my podcast, the New Normal Show. That if you're not subscribed to that, get that wherever you get your podcast. You can listen to it on YouTube as well. I just put out a new episode yesterday. So yeah, this is something that's new for me is YouTube. I have TikTok where I have almost 900,000 people that follow me. I have Instagram where I'm almost 200,000, and then there's YouTube where it's like 300. But I'm going to treat you guys as if you're the most important 300 in the world. So, um, if you've supported me for a while, thank you. If you're new to what I do, welcome. You know, it's not that deep for me. I want to help as many people get realigned and who they're supposed to be so you can have what you desire to have. And the most the biggest thing that I see that a lot of, social media influencers and coaches, they talk a lot about, not all of them, but there's many of them, they talk about the things that you need to do. You got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do that. But no one's talking about getting aligned. Like, what good are the things that you do if you're not aligned? If this is not even, how do you know that the work that you're putting in is the work that you're supposed to be putting in? When you focus on alignment, the stuff that you do matters and it becomes easier to deal with because you know that even though this work might be hard, one, you have the energy to carry your burden, but you also have the wherewithal to submit what you can't control to let God carry the rest. When you're out of that alignment, you are tending to do everything yourself, and that's when you get drained, and that's when you get fatigued, and that's when you get tired, and that's when you miss your workouts, that's when you start messing up on your eating, that's when you get in a relationship that you don't need, that's when bad habits pop back up when you're out of alignment. And what I've seen with a lot of leaders that I've worked with that are struggling with their vision is that they think they have a vision problem, but really they have an alignment issue. It's hard to know what your vision is if you're not on the path where the vision is supposed to be at. So if I'm trying to get to Chicago and I'm living in Detroit, I have to get on the highways that's going to lead me to Chicago. Now, there can be traffic jams on these highways. There could be an accident on these highways. There could be a shutdown on these highways. But no matter how fast or how long it takes, this highway is going to get me to Chicago. This highway is designed to take me to Chicago. Now, if you're like, this is taking too long, and you get on another highway that doesn't take you to Chicago, and you're trying to get to Chicago, well, you're going to be frustrated and angry because not only are you on a highway that's going to take you longer, you're on a highway that's not taking you there at all. And so, what we do is we get on the highway that we're designed to be on that's going to take us to where we want to go, but because it's not going at the pace that we like, we get on other freeways. And these freeways are appetizing because you're moving faster and you're going above the speed limit. So you're traveling at a faster pace, but it's not getting you to where you're supposed to go, right? So it's important to get aligned. And when you're aligned and you're on the highway that's going to take you where you're supposed to go, There are going to be seasons where there's going to be traffic. There's going to be seasons when you can go the speed limit. There's going to be seasons where you can go faster than the speed limit. And then there's going to be seasons where there's going to be literally you're coming to a complete stop. But no matter what, that highway is taking you to the destination that you're supposed to be on. So you don't have a vision problem, you have an alignment problem. You're not on the right highway. You got to get in alignment with where you're supposed to be. And then the peace comes from that. Because think about it. Matter of fact, I just want